What's some of the most common advice that you give to people to take care of themselves?
Well, I think first of all, we should all control our weight and eat a healthy diet and avoid smoking and excessive alcohol and drugs. I think that's kind of baseline. And then I think we should strive to have an enjoyable life. Look at those things about our life that give us pleasure and foster that. If you don't like your job, figure out a way to get another job or another boss or start something that you really love to do, because when you love what you do, people can tell and you're a happier person. So that's one thing about being a happier person. And secondly, take care of yourself. You know, don't feel that you have to be a total rat in the rat race. Take a vacation, read a book, go sit by the beach for a little while. I think we're all just so plugged in 24/7 that if we're not on the phone or on our Palm or our BlackBerry or on our computer or doing something, we feel guilty. We have to dispel with some of that guilt. In Europe, they take 4 weeks every year. And they're not guilty. They're happy every moment. So I think we should incorporate some of that into our lives. And I think we have to be really good about getting our screening exams. So whatever is the age-appropriate screening for you as a man or a woman, you should be following up on that. Particularly women, mammograms, pap smears, after age 50, colorectal exams, men, African-American men after 40, prostate exams and a PSA, after 50, colonoscopy. So everything that you need to do to look for something that's under the cover. It hasn't emerged yet as a real illness. It's so small. But if we find it early, we can take care of it. Avoid diabetes if there's a family history. Watch your weight. Stay in weight control. Diabetes is going to be a huge problem. It is a huge problem. It's going to be greater in the next 10 years because of our kids who are sitting on the couch, drinking Coke, eating popcorn. They're not moving. Many of them are going to become diabetic. And finally, do your coronary screening. What are your risk factors for heart disease? Heart disease is the #1 killer of Americans. Tim Russert was a sad example of that. Here's a guy in the prime of his life who had a clot in one of his arteries that blocked the flow, and he died. It's very sad. But the message for us to take home from that is be proactive. Exercise, eat right. Now, some people will say, well, even if you do that, you're going to die anyway. This is true. We are all going to die, no question. But the way that we do it, how much enjoyment we have in our life in a positive way, it can be totally different. I don't think anybody wants to spend the last 5 years of their life or whatever as a cardiac cripple, in and out of the hospital, on oxygen, etc. You can keep your heart healthy and strong, and when you do that, the rest of your body is healthy and strong.
Is there anything that we can do to mitigate the effects of smog in Southern California?
Oh, that's a tough one. That really is. I guess push our legislators to really work on better emissions control and just becoming more aware of our environment on the planet, being more green, using solar power or other forms of power that may not generate so much effluvium into the air. And I think we all have to do work on that. I mean, I'm always trying to think, what could we do? How could we make this more energy efficient? You know, maybe we could get rebates for people that want to put solar panels on their homes, you know, because it's pretty expensive. So there's a lot of things that we can do, and I think we as a community need to look into that and be very proactive.
But there's not like a vitamin that you can take to mitigate the effects of smog?
Not that I'm aware of yet.
Yeah, because I love it here, and I think it's horrible. You know, the air that I must be breathing in.
It is pretty
what
scary.
It's doing to me.
Right.
And, I think, what can I do?
Right.
It's like, when it rains, I feel like, okay, now I'm going to breathe deeply because the air's clean.
So that makes it really important for us not to smoke, not to add to any more damage in our lungs in terms because of what we are breathing here in California. That's a good point. And it can be scary.